Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm Alan, and let's
Hello.
continue with the chat with Ava. Hi
Yeah.
Ava.
Hello.
Hi Ava.
Nice.
So we just took a break about
Mm,
what you're sharing about your studies in architecture, and you mentioned lots about the ideas, how
mm,
to create the ideas, how do you actually differentiate between different streams, architecture, engineer, and
mm,
how do you actually prepare for the admissions.
mm,
So in this episode, we are going to have Ava to share us about how the COVID impact her
mm,
learning, and how the COVID situation and impacts her living in Australia.
mm,
So first of all, I think um, the first and important questions for me during this COVID period, do you
mm,
think that the effectiveness of your learning got lowered?
mm. It really depends on your personality, but
Mm,
my personality is totally fine because
mm,
usually because as I said, I have a experience on architecture. I studied 2 years in HKU space,
right.
so I have a clear goal of like what's happening. But for the new people, people who don't have architectural background, they might feel really lost, like, and they can't
Mm,
really seek for help directly. So might be it would definitely negatively affect them. Yeah,
mm,
not yeah. That's
mm.
interesting.
But are the lectures recorded?
Yeah. They are all recorded. You
They're
can look
recorded.
at it. Yeah,
Okay, so you can watch the videos back anytime you want.
anytime. Yeah, anytime.
Okay. So are the lectures conducted in well, of course the lectures is conducted in real life, in real time, but are there any live discussion, or do you need to arrange any group discussion, face-to-face group discussion with your peers?
Yeah. There is Zoom meeting, and then the tutor would create breakout rooms, and then you can discuss with your peer. And also, of course, there is live discussion, but I don't think it is really effective because
Mm,
personality does matter. For example, you are an introvert. If you don't ask them, they can't see you. You would just being forgotten. So yeah, it, yeah, I think yeah, it matters. Yeah, online
okay.
object matters.
So the students actually need to have a
It would,
huge
yeah,
initiative to talk with the
yeah,
tutors, talk with,
and
I
it's
mean,
a bit.
got, yeah, yeah. Has your campus reopened now?
Yeah, it's just reopened, but the requirement is like you have to fully vaccinated. You have to get 2 doses of vaccination. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, and any other restrictions that, like any, for example,
Mm.
will the libraries opening hours less
Mm.
than usual? Like any these kind of
Mm.
restrictions?
I guess no. Yeah, the
Mm,
library
also.
actually is still open even under restriction.
Mm,
Usually. Mhm.
okay. In your video, you mentioned that in Australia you spent like 2 weeks. You went to Australia 2 week in advance to make
Oh
sure
yeah.
you got accommodated well. You met your friends. So
Yeah.
I believe you also have some kind of idea on uh the culture, the Australian culture.
Mm.
Would you share us about what kind of culture do you think that amaze you,
Mm.
or any culture that you feel weird or is that difficult to adapt?
Mm. I think the culture here is people are really chill. They focus on like people's value. Like they don't really
People's
care
value.
about the quality of the work. They would care about whether you are a well-being human being. Yeah. If you say
Mm.
like weird culture, I would say they would just greeting to you like when you buy something.
Mm.
But like in Hong Kong, they just want to be fast.
No, never.
Yeah. So yeah, but I really like the people here, especially the tutors. They won't be really straightforward. They can understand about why you can't really produce your work today and like really fair. Like, yeah.
Mm. So they
Mhm.
actually focus on people. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have your work today, but why? Any reason,
Yeah,
particular
yeah, yeah,
reasons,
you're
or
right.
any personal reasons you have? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, that is very considerate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
really. Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a human-centric, well,
Yeah,
human-centric
yeah,
culture. That
yeah,
is very
really.
good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually got one question.
Yeah.
Well, you said that in, when you study the architecture, especially in Australia, in Monash, you will need to have a lot of you need to think a lot of crazy ideas, to search for the ideas,
Mm-hmm.
think about the stories, and then before you go to the architecture, doing the architecture model, and you have so much time of work to do, like during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you actually get new ideas?
Mm-hmm.
Or like for me, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
so packed with my work schedule, my
Mm-hmm.
brain just stuck, like
Yeah,
zero
you're right.
ideas. So
Mm-hmm.
how do
Mm-hmm.
you actually create the
Yeah.
idea space for yourself?
Mm-hmm. Usually you can take a look of Pinterest, like one of the website for artists, and then
Interest.
yeah, take a look of precedents, or you can ask for your classmates comment, like how's like can you give me some comment on my work? Yeah, usually just find some precedents and then, or you can do readings. I think reading is extremely helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Well, any particular readings do you usually read on? Like, for example, do
Yeah.
you usually read on the academic research, or do you read on some, I don't know, like some general modern, like other genres
Mm.
of the book?
Usually your university would like your tutor would give you a lot of selected readings already,
Okay.
so you can just read that kind of readings. Really helpful.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Good. Do you could you find any books actually from Hong Kong? You need to search for books in Hong Kong before.
No,
No. So usually
no.
you just get the books from the selection of your tutor.
Or you
Mm,
can search Google Scholar. Then you can find some
mm,
academic articles. Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
But how do you usually free your mind? I mean, you can't be too
Mhm.
intense, right? How do you usually free your mind? What do you do?
Mm. I think you can have some rest. You can maybe go downstairs, have a walk. But usually, how I get inspiration is, you can, as I said, take a look of like how amazing people did, or you can scroll your Instagram, follow a lot of architecture account. It can always inspire you, like their work, usually.
Mm,
But if you have to emphasize on free your mind, it is quite personal. Like maybe someone like talk to others, maybe someone don't like talk to others. They want to eat something is different.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people they just play games in the
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
computer games, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, well, unless you find you have your way to free your mind, because I feel I feel like you're too
Oh, I would
stressed.
play games as well.
You're too stressful.
A
Okay.
little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So my last question of this video. As usual as I ask, any one word of advice would you suggest to the
Mm-hmm.
students who would like to study overseas or maybe study architecture overseas?
Okay. I would say self-discipline. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Especially online, it's all about self-discipline. Yeah. Like because like no one would remind you. You have to monitor yourself. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So the self-discipline is really important. Well, I mean, self-discipline in when you study in Hong Kong is really important already, but when you are studying overseas,
Yeah, yeah.
even in an online environment,
Yeah, really, really
it's even
important.
more really important. And your time
Yeah.
management, how to manage your time, how to manage your workload,
Yeah,
manage your
exactly.
mindset as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Really important.
yeah. So students, if you have any uh, if you are going to start, if you are thinking of studying abroad, please please make sure that you have to be really self-disciplined, and
Mm,
you have to develop a habit of time management, because your workload as Ava's subjects is really heavy, has a really heavy workload, and you will need to manage your time, manage your emotions, manage there's so many things to manage. So, and these all falls to self-discipline.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So thank you so much, Ava, for sharing today.
thank
And I
you.
wish you have some a little bit more free time for yourself.
Yeah, well, thank
Yeah.
you.
The rubber band can't be too intense, right? It can't be so tense up
Okay,
like that.
I'll try
Yeah,
one then.
yeah. But I believe that a lot of companies will like this kind of architect.
Really? Okay, I got hired now.
Yeah, yeah, you got hired.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, leave down there and tell us what are your questions, any comments. Okay. So thank you so much, Ava.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.